let's jump into it though. Like, and first off, like, how perfect is it that Patrick Dempsey got Sexiest Man Alive this week ahead of the movie?
Just when you thought we couldn't turn the heat up even more, Patrick made it even hotter. He didn't tell me. I couldn't believe it. He was like, yeah, I'm doing Kimmel. And then at 9:30 last night, my phone blew up on our group text of everyone posting the Sexiest Man Alive photos. It's great because now we get to torture him for the rest of our lives with that. But I'm very happy for him, and it's well-deserved. I thought it was going to go to Rick Hoffman, but I think Patrick does deserve it.
It was interesting watching like the Grindhouse trailer like back in the day, and then watching what sequences were revisited and like expanded on and made bigger and bloodier for this movie. What would you say the benefit of time has been for like, bringing this to a feature length life?
That's a great question. The original conception of the movie was when Jeff Rendell and I were 12 years old growing up in Massachusetts. Like, so we had those kills ready. We were always waiting, for like there was always a dry spell of horror movies after Halloween where family movies came in November. And for us, with all the holiday horror that happened from My Bloody Valentine and Halloween and Black Christmas and Mother's Day, we were like, why has no one made a Thanksgiving movie? So when the trailer opportunity came up, we had those kills ready. But what time gave us was it gave us a minute to really kind of find what the theme of the movie is, because Grindhouse is a joke. It's a fake trailer. It's supposed to be ridiculous. And the kills are fun, but there's no plot. And over time, once we saw sort of how Black Friday bled into Thanksgiving, and we started seeing those YouTube videos year after year of the gates going up at midnight and people trampling each other right after being at dinner saying, oh, we're so thankful, we don't need anything, and then killing each other for flat screen TVs and waffle irons. We thought, that's it. That's your like classic slasher opening. That's the inciting incident that we can revisit after a certain amount of time, and everyone connected to it. So kind of once we had that theme, everything fell into place.
And I wanted to talk about that Black Friday scene because it really like you take the time in setting up the tension and suspense and dread, and it really sets the tone. Like, how was it, crafting that literal organized chaos to kick off the movie?
Thank you. I'd say it was the most difficult sequence of my career in terms of complexity of what had to happen and the amount of characters we're tracking. But also I was ready for it. I think I could never make a sequence like that at the beginning of my career. And it's only when you're doing it's my ninth feature film. And then, throw in a documentary, but it's like, I knew how to plan for it, but still there's always luck involved. And we had an amazing stunt coordinator, Dan Skeen, and makeup artist with Adrian Moreau and Steve Newburn and Kathy C. So, we shot that in 4 nights. I mean, this was a low budget movie. So we had 2 nights for outside from the moment the kids arrive and 2 nights inside for the chaos. So luckily we were in Canada where the Canadians are super polite. They go, sorry after every take. So, but we were really great. Everybody worked together. We worked really hard to make sure that no one got injured because there's no CGI in that. It's all real and it's all live the entire time. And that was the fun of it, was just capturing that absolute pandemonium, but making sure people had the energy to do it over and over and over. But the stunt team just went for it. That's really the only way. I always say making movies is a faith-based system. You just have to like pray it's going to turn out because you're telling everyone it's going to work, but you don't really know. But when we saw that scene and you saw like 600 people running and trampling and you yell cut and everyone stops and we're okay and everyone smiles and then they do it again and again. It was pretty special, and everyone who was there for those nights really had a great time doing it. People were like, it's the most fun they've had on a set ever. So it was the chaos you're seeing felt real, but the vibes are really, really good. Everyone was working together.
I got time for one more, and I'll kind of make it a bit of an abstract one, Eli, as a student of horror. And yeah, I mean, I feel like this movie wears your influences on your sleeves more than any other. Like, what do you want to say with this slasher genre, with this movie in particular?
I love the slasher films, and I wanted this movie to have the language of a slasher film when you start with, the POVs and the identifying title of where you are and what holiday is and jump scares and red herrings. There are things that I love about these movies, and I really miss them, kind of hearkening back to the first Scream and a film I love called Mute Witness. That was a very big influence on this. You know, I love these movies. I think that slasher films are fantastic morality tales. I think the killer always has a reason. And I always want to add something new to the genre. And in this one, I wanted to have fun and have the killer kill in a bunch of different ways. I didn't want it, it's not a one weapon killer. He's always doing something creative and fun. And look, as much as I grew up with Freddy and Jason and Michael, I think it's time for some new blood. And I want a younger generation to go, this is our slasher. You know, the older stuff is great, but everyone got to experience I got to experience Michael and Freddy and Jason for the first time. And now a whole generation of teenagers and young people can experience John Carver for the first time. It's a new killer out there.
Right on. And that is my time. Thanksgiving out in theaters everywhere on November 17th. Eli, thanks for sitting down with me today, man.
My pleasure. Thanks.